Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video we are going to be comparing System.io versus Kajabi to help you decide which of these platforms is best for you and your business. I've used both of these platforms. These are both absolutely fantastic tools for course sellers, for coaches, for people who are building a community, but they have very different price tags and they have very different features depending on what you are using. And that is exactly what we are going to be covering in this video. Now, just before we jump in, if you do decide to go with either of these two platforms, I have two awesome bonuses. With Kajabi, using the link in the description, you can sign up for an extended 30-day free trial as opposed to the standard 14-day free trial on their website. I've also got the free plan link inside of System.io, and if you use this, I will give you access to my advanced bonus vault with done for you funnel templates, done for you email sequences, and a full System.io course. Now, starting out with System.io, if we take a look at the features that are available, you can see we have a website builder, we have email marketing, you can sell physical products, we can run evergreen webinars, we have a booking calendar, so you can set this up for coaching, we can run online courses, we can build sales funnels, we can build out communities, and they also have pipelines. Going over to Kajabi and taking a look at what they actually have, you will see they both have very similar things. So online courses, coaching, podcasts is something that System.io don't have. We have membership websites, communities, email marketing, landing pages, funnels, a contact CRM. So in terms of the actual features, both of these platforms are very similar. The main difference between these though is that Kajabi just has more advanced features and it's a much more premium tool. And this is definitely reflected in the pricing. So with System, these are the pricing plans right here. We have freemium where we can have up to 2,000 contacts. We can send unlimited emails. We can create 3 sales funnels with 15 funnel steps. And then from here, the pricing goes to $17 per month, $47 per month, and $97 per month. Whereas on Kajabi, the cheapest plan is $89 per month. There's no free plan of this. There is a free trial, but after that initial 30-day free trial, the cheapest plan is $89 per month. With this, we can also see it's pretty limited. Like we can only get 250 contacts, 7,500 marketing emails, 1 website, 1 product, and 1 community. So Kajabi is definitely more for people who are already established. They already have a coaching or a course business and they need these more advanced tools and they're already making money. Whereas System.io is way better for people who are just starting off, who are maybe making a few $100s per month, or they don't need all of the features that Kajabi offer. Now, logging into both of these platforms and going into the back end, the first place that we are going to start out is of course inside of courses, because this is the main thing that people are using both of these platforms for. So we can go over to the courses area here inside of System.io, and let's run through this first. So we can go to courses, we can add a new course right here, and straight away, the templates that we are offered with System.io, they are not awful by any stretch of the imagination, but they just don't look as nice as on Kajabi, and I'll show you what I mean. But we can start out here in the courses section. Let's just call this test course, just like this. And we can click on save. And then we can go in and we can start building out our course. So in the course area, we can go in here and we can add modules. Let's just call this module 1. Welcome. We can drop that in. Then inside of each module, we can go ahead and add lectures. And yeah, just looking at these templates, you'll see what I mean when we compare this to Kajabi. These templates especially are really not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. But we can go in and let's just call this lesson 1. We can click on save, and then we can go in here and we can start creating this lesson. Now, although the templates that we get with System.io are not fantastic, we can definitely play around with these and make this a little bit nicer. So we can, of course, go in, we can change the background color, we can drag and drop these different things around. So I'll just grab this up here and we can drop this right at the top. For the videos, these are very easy to replace. So we can just click in, choose if we want to link from a YouTube video, if we want to upload our own file to have the course footage in here. Then once we are done, we can click on save, go down and continue to add lectures and modules. Then coming over to Kajabi, we can straight away see that this is a lot cleaner inside of the courses area. We have a blank module and a blank lesson. So let's click in and we'll call this module 1. Welcome. We can then go down and save this. And then once again, just like we did inside of System, we can click into the course area. We can choose that this is a video, select and upload the file right here. And we can build out the course in the same way. But the main difference is if we come over here to customize, we can see the templates that we get inside of Kajabi just make this look a lot more premium than what we can get access to inside of System. So these are the templates right here. We have a lot of awesome templates. It just looks and feels a lot more premium. So this is what I mean. If you already have a successful business and you want more of a premium feel on this, then Kajabi is definitely the better way to go. Whereas if you're just starting out, you don't immediately want to jump in with a $90 per month expense, then System.io is the best for this. The next thing that we can take a look at inside of both of these tools is the communities area. And with System.io, this is definitely still a work in progress. It's not something that they have perfected yet. But as an example, I can click into this community that I created. And it's kind of okay. Like we can go down here, we can add in different topics where people can click in, they can write their own posts. We can view the members that are inside of the community right here. But this is still a very basic communities feature. Whereas inside of Kajabi, it's a lot more fleshed out. As I say, it's a more premium product, so of course it's going to be. But we can click into community right here. And inside of the community, even though this is very basic and I haven't added anything to it yet, we just have so many more features. Like for example, we can go in here and we can set challenges. So we can go into create challenges right here and we can make a challenge. So we could say, for example, every day in our community, the challenge is to upload one YouTube video per day or upload one Instagram video per day. And your community can get involved in this. They can post their links, they can check this off, and it can help them grow. We also have things like gamification, where you can add a certain amount of points, unlock different things. So for example, we could go in here. And the way that people earn points is by interacting with the community. So we can see right here, the way that this is set up by default is if they react to a challenge, that's 1 point. If they complete a challenge, this is 100 points. And what we can do is we can set certain rewards. So at 1,000 points, they might unlock a course. At 5,000 points, they might unlock a coaching call with you. And this encourages people to be more active in the community. We can also go in here and we can create different meetups and like coaching calls inside of the community. So overall, the communities feature is just a lot more fleshed out on Kajabi as well. There is actually one thing that I think System.io does a lot better than Kajabi in, and this is funnels. System.io is fantastic at funnels. Kajabi, not so much. So what we can do, if I come into here and I create a new funnel, we'll just call this test funnel right here. Let's say we want to sell a product. We can go in here and click on save. We can then come in and with this funnel, it comes with a sales page, an order form and a thank you page. And then we can add more funnel steps down here. But first of all, these templates are absolutely fantastic. So we can go down, we can choose from one of these awesome templates right here. We can click on select. And then we can edit page. And this right here is the page builder on System.io. So anything we want to go ahead and add in, super simple with this drag and drop. If I want to add a video, for example, I can come down here and drop a video right here. I can then click in, upload my video. Editing text is also super easy. So I could just say Holden Academy up here. If we want to delete any features, we can click in and delete. And although Kajabi is still drag and drop, it's not as good as a funnel builder, and I'll show you this. So what we can do is we can go to website right here and go to landing pages. We can create a new landing page and we can browse from some of these templates. And immediately the templates are still pretty good, but the difference between these for paying $89 per month is just not fantastic. So we can go in, let's say that we want to choose an opt-in page right here. We can choose this opt-in page as an example, and we'll just call this test. Then we are taken over to this page right here, and immediately just the builder isn't as intuitive as it is on System.io. We can go back, we can go in here and we can add different content. So you can see we have custom code. It's just not laid out in the same way. Like with System, we have like these beautifully laid out text sections and form sections, whereas inside of Kajabi, this is just kind of bundled all together. Now, the reason for this is because Kajabi mainly focuses on the backend tools, the communities, the courses, and things like this. But I think for $89 per month, they could do a much better job on the funnel side of things. And then the last thing to touch on when comparing these two tools is going to be the email marketing and the email automations. Now, in terms of the plain text emails, what you are looking at if you are a course creator or a community creator, both of these are absolutely fantastic. Kajabi does a much better job of like graphic emails, but these are mainly for e-commerce companies. So it just depends on what you are looking for. But inside of Kajabi, we can go down here into marketing. We can click into email campaigns and create a new campaign right here. We can then select an email sequence. We'll just call this test. And continue. And then in here, this is what I'm talking about with these awesome and these beautiful like designed emails. But if you're selling a course, if you're selling a coaching program, you don't really need these. We just want to go to the classic editor. And this is what I found with Kajabi. They have these beautiful tools, but I just never use them. When I'm using Kajabi, I just never use these. I use the plain text emails. So we can come in here, we can choose when this email will be sent. So let's say this is a welcome email. We want to send this immediately. We can go down and we can say, hey, and we can say maybe your ebook is here. We can then go down, we can type out the body. So we can say, hey, we have the personalizations. So we have first name, for example, which is going to replace this bracket right here with the name that the person entered. Then we can go down, we can type out the rest of the email. We might say, get access to your ebook here. And then what we can do is we can highlight this. We can go ahead and upload file, and we can link the ebook or whatever we are selling. Then we can go over, we can click on save, which is add a subject here, which is going to be the same as the internal title. And then as we can see, this is the first email in the sequence. So we can then go through, we can add a second email in here. You get the idea. That's how we can build these out. With system, we can come over to campaigns. We can click on create and we can create a new campaign. So once again, let's call this test. Choose the sender email address and click on save. And then if we click on create and we go to the visual editor, yeah, these templates are far from what they are on Kajabi. But using the classic editor, let's just say once again, your ebook is here. We can go ahead and click on save. And as you can see, like these are very similar layouts. So we can go into the body. We can say, hey, once again, we have these personalization substitutes. So we can copy their first name right here. Just need to make sure that this is the same color as the rest of the text. And then once again, we can go down and start typing things out. We can say, get access to your ebook here. And once again, we can go ahead and we can link this, upload the file, and we can upload the ebook into here. So overall, when deciding between System.io and Kajabi, it really depends on where you are in your business right now. If you already have an audience, you already have a course or a program, and you want the most premium experience for your users, then go with Kajabi. On the flip side of this, if you are building a newer business, you don't yet have an audience, and you don't have much money coming in, or alternatively, if you just think Kajabi is too expensive and you want to move over to a cheaper platform, then System.io has all of the tools that you need for a much lower price. So that is my comparison of System.io versus Kajabi. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.